We are going to make patches, strips, and tufts out of static grass right now. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. You can buy static grass patches, strips, and tufts ready-made, or you can make your own. That's what I am going to try to do in today's episode. I am going to try to make my own for the layout. What I am about to show you is far from groundbreaking. Thousands of model railroaders all over the world have already done this. But for me, well, it's something totally new. I am about to go where I have never gone before. So the question is, how will my patches, strips, and tufts turn out? Will they be good enough to use on my layout? We will see. Now let me just mention that we could create them right on the layout, but instead we are going to do it off layout on a cookie sheet. Why? Because the advantage of making them off layout on a cookie sheet is that you don't end up scattering grass all over the layout. You simply make them on the cookie sheet and transfer them to the layout later on, as you will see. Okay, let's go over to my workbench and get started. First, let's take a look at the tools and materials you will need. To begin with, you will need a cookie sheet. These cookie sheets are not just for making cookies anymore. Next, a static grass applicator. Some glue. I am going to use both WWS basing glue and white glue. And of course, the static grass itself in colors and lengths that you desire. I will be using 2mm summer grass, 2mm dry grass, and 4mm patchy grass. I have put each of them in a separate plastic cup and have labeled each cup. Putting the static grass in cups makes it easier to break up the clumps of grass before putting it in the applicator hopper. It also makes it easier to fill and refill the hopper. A brush to spread the glue around a little if desired. A single-edge razor blade, tweezers, or an X-Acto knife with a chisel blade like this to remove the patches, strips, and tufts from the cookie sheet after they dry. Last, but most importantly, a cup of coffee, since nothing ever gets done on my layout without a cup of coffee. We are going to put down the glue in a moment. First, though, I have mixed the 3 colors of static grass together in a separate cup. You could apply each of the colors in layers, one color after another. But this time I have decided to mix the 3 colors together and apply them all at the same time. Now the real fun begins. I start by applying some WWS basing glue at one end of the tray. I put down lines of glue where I will be making strips of static grass. I dab it on where I will be making tufts. And for the patches, I spread the glue around a little. Now I repeat this pattern at the other end of the tray, but using white glue this time. I am using these 2 different types of glue as a test to see if I get different results with each type. In both cases, the amount of glue that I put down will determine the size of the patch, strip, or tuft that I end up making. Okay, it's time to apply the grass. I pour the grass mix into the hopper of the applicator. I attach the alligator clip of the applicator to the cookie sheet. This will create an electrical field that should help the grass stand up erect as I apply it. Then, having already switched on the applicator, I begin to shake the grass onto the glue. I am trying to hold the applicator fairly close to the glue, about an inch or so above it, but hopefully not so close that I will hit the glue with the applicator. I make a number of passes with the applicator until I am satisfied that I have applied enough grass. All right, done. I switch off the applicator and disconnect the alligator clip, and there you have it. It was so simple that even I could do it. Now I am going to leave it sit until the glue dries thoroughly. Then I will come back and remove the patches, strips, and tufts from the cookie sheet. All right, the patches, strips, and tufts have dried. I am looking at them very closely, and quite frankly, I can't see any difference between those on the left and those on the right, which, as you know, I put down using two different types of glue. Well, let's go ahead and loosen them from the pan, and I will show you how I might use them over at Echo Canyon. I have ordered baking paper to put on the cookie sheet before applying the glue in the future. It should make it easier to lift the patches, strips, and tufts off of the baking paper than scraping them directly off the cookie sheet. Now let me show you how I can apply these materials to my layout. First, the strips. I can use these along the road or along the tracks and in other narrow spaces. The patches, I can best use these in larger areas where I want to have thin grass with bare spots of soil showing through. And the tufts, I can plant these at the eastern end of the canyon and in other dry areas of the layout. This photo of the prototype demonstrates how I can use these materials. The strips, the patches, and the tufts. Be sure to also note the road stripes and guardrails. Hopefully I can do the road stripes and guardrails in my next video. Obviously, I need to make a lot more of these materials using various colors and heights of static grass. I will be making more, a lot more in the coming days. As always, my goal is to replicate the prototype that I am modeling as closely as I can in the limited space that I have. Well, as always, I hope you found this video to be useful, and if you did, I invite you to give it a thumbs up. If you have made patches, strips, and tufts or similar things out of static grass for your layout, I would love to hear about your experience in the comments down below. And if you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Until next time then, thanks for watching, happy railroading. I will see you again very soon.